Hey guys, so I have been playing with the lightning strike, and while leveling I decided to try this anointment Vengeance Cascade, which is actually very expensive, like 2 golden oils and 1 opalescence, but I found a cheap one on the market with already anointed mod, so I bought that. And while I was playing lightning strike I decided to buy all the other attack projectile gems skills and try it out and see what happens. So it's nothing too impressive, and I'm gonna explain why this mod is not really useful. So maybe I should first explain how this projectiles return to you work. If the projectile pierces, it doesn't return to you. Only on the last hit, if it wouldn't chain, if it wouldn't fork, if it wouldn't pierce on the last hit, then it would return back to you. So it's not actually good against single target, because if you hit a single target and projectile return, it doesn't hit the same target again. So it's only good for clear speed, but there are some cases where it can be good for single target as well, like I'm gonna show later on. So I have chain, I don't have any pierce, and then projectile return. So skills like, for example, lightning arrow, it hits multiple enemies on each hit, I guess. So if you can make your projectiles travel far away in the enemy pack and then return, it would benefit you a lot more than just chaining into one enemy and then returning. Chain may not be the best. Fork or even pierce 2 or 3 targets probably would work the best. But then again, usually you do destroy all the targets in just first 1 or 2 shots, so it doesn't seem to be useful that much. Now the skills that I found to be interesting: lightning arrow, I just felt cool for some reason, I'm not quite sure why. Then caustic arrow is, I didn't expect it actually to even return, because I thought that it gets destroyed when it hits something. So the way it worked, if you shoot multiple projectiles and all of them hit the ground, they all can shotgun the target with the AoE explosion. But the main projectile that hit, only one projectile can hit the same target from the same attack. And that one projectile still returns back to you and then creates the caustic ground under your feet. So it's like adding an extra arrow if you are standing close to the target and doing the shotgunning with the hit and not the damage over time, because damage over time from multiple caustic grounds do not stack. So caustic arrow seemed kind of interesting. Also they chain and then return, so for the clear speed it does seem to be pretty interesting with caustic arrow. And but in the end, I mean, it doesn't add more DPS, it's just for the clear speed, I guess. Now frostblades is kind of interesting. In order to proc the projectiles from the frostblades, you need to hit with melee, and then the projectiles shoot behind that target, not hitting the main target. However, once those projectiles hit other targets, and in my case chain and then return, they can also hit the main target, the one that did not get hit by any projectile at first. So in theory, it may be possible to have some like serious damage with the frostblade against single target. The issue is how are you gonna get the other targets to not die in 1 or 2 hits and stay behind the main target. So it's interesting, but I don't think that it's very viable. Now the kinetic blast I think is the most impressive one, but then again, kinetic blast always worked the best with a lot of enemies, and it just felt insane for the clear speed. I only had live sprig with kinetic blast, and it already had decent clear speed potential. So with kinetic blast, the projectiles would chain that hit directly the target, would chain, explode, and then return back to me, and if they hit the other targets, they would explode again. So it did create a lot of explosions, and that's amazing for the clear speed, but other than that, for single target, it does nothing, absolutely nothing. Barrage actually with Vans look pretty cool. With buffs you can't really see it, but with Barrage, with Vans, it's much more visible, and it does look like a almost like a laser, like some kind of dark laser. So that does look pretty cool with Barrage. Shattering Steel, kind of weird. you shoot multiple projectiles which then split into shards. Those shards don't seem to count as projectiles because the way it worked, it hit the target, chained, and then when we tried to return back to me, it created those projectiles which split into shards. So it's kind of weird interaction, and I suspect there may be some kind of interesting and maybe even OP mechanic with that if you can have enough targets. But I'm not too sure. I haven't played with Shattering Steel too much, but I remember in the past it was bugged a couple times where Pork would provide too much damage for some reason. Maybe there's some kind of weird mechanical bug. Other skills, Lancing Steel also kind of looks weird. Not really efficient. With Lancing Steel you do 1 pierce anyway, but it may help with the returning projectiles if the initial projectiles don't destroy targets, so they would hopefully reach some other targets, finish piercing, and then return to you, finishing the other targets. Maybe, but I don't. The mod itself is so expensive that it's not really worth getting that mod for any of the skills. Tornado Shot, I'm not too experienced with Tornado Shot, but it just seems like normal Tornado Shot. It just creates more projectiles, chain, and then return. I don't know. The other skills like Burning Arrow, Power Siphon, Cobra Lash, Venom Gyre, Scourge Arrow, Ice Shot, Spectral Shield Throw, Explosive Arrow, Split Arrow, Lightning Strike. Those don't seem to be very interesting with that, and some don't even do anything special, just an extra projectile returning to you. The Spectral Shield Throw with and without the Threshold Jewel don't do anything special. The main projectile still tries to return to you, but the shards don't seem to be doing anything. They seem to be chaining, but they don't seem to be trying to return to anything. So yeah, and I think that's all about all the skills. Yeah, if you're thinking if this mod is worth it, then the answer is no. Simple as that. If it costed like, I don't know, instead of gold oils costed like silver oils or even less, maybe, but it's mostly just for the visuals, mostly for the fun, and not really for efficiency or damage. So yeah, if it worked with spell projectiles, that would be completely different game. Because you couldn't make some interesting things with returning spell projectiles, but it only works with attack projectiles, so sad. So that's gonna be it for today. My lightning strike that I build will be coming out pretty soon. So until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.